Hello. I wanted to talk about electrokinesis. And since I wasn't going to talk about this before, because I thought if my family members or my friends saw this or coworkers saw this, they would think it's strange. But the telekinesis, electrokinesis, and chi are all becoming actually pretty big. They weren't before, and barely anyone knew about them, and they were all from India and China or Asia. The Western world didn't know anything about this, and they're slowly learning about it, very slowly. I'll explain it in a scientific way so it sounds less crazy. The electrical waves that come out of your body can be used to manipulate things, like move objects or shock people. Like when you lift weights and you feel that pump of your arms are kind of like shaking, and you feel that good pump of energy in your arms after lifting really heavy weights. That would be considered chi. It's the electrical signals that go throughout your body that you can use to manipulate and push or pull. Now, my whole entire life, I didn't know what it was, but it happened to me when I was younger and throughout my life. Strange things with electronics happened, and I couldn't explain them. I didn't know what they were. But this year, I found out what they were. And this year, a lot of strange things with electronics have happened. Okay, so I want to elaborate on this topic. You can be born good with electrokinesis, or you can be born good with some other kind of thing. Personally, it's only my opinion. No one has to agree with this. I swear to God, I think it's based on your zodiac sign. If you're an earth symbol, a fire symbol, an air symbol, or a water symbol. I'm an air symbol, which represents knowledge and peace and air. All I have ever been able to do with electrokinesis, I know it sounds funny, I've made a spark in my ear, which made me fall over and pass out for a few seconds. It tasered myself. Somehow, I touched my headphone, and apparently I made current go through and zap me. Today, I made my heart slightly stop, and I almost fell over. I know a thing that you can do that not everyone can do, maybe some people. It's supposed to be a negative and a positive. You put your finger up like this, one side outward, the other side you put out like this, and it's supposed to be charging one side of your hand with signals, and the other side is supposed to be releasing it. But I made it too strong, and you can actually feel it pass through your side, but when it passes past your heart, there'll be this surge, and if it's too strong, your heart will feel it, and it will, I don't know if it will just pump too fast or beat too fast, or there'll be a little shock and you'll feel like passing out. I tried it twice today and the same result happened. It only reached like my shoulder on the other side, and while it was reaching it, I almost passed out. So strange things can happen if you do electrokinesis. If you try to make it stronger, when you walk into a bathroom and there are those hand dryer things, they will go off regardless if you're trying to make them go off. They'll go off if you just walk into the room. That's happened to me about 4 times. I haven't tried to make it happen. Most of the times I don't try to make something happen. It will just happen. I mean, I'm seeing more people on YouTube do amazing things with electrokinesis. They can fucking turn light bulbs on and off and destroy lights with their hands. I can't do that. The coolest thing I've done so far with electrokinesis, I have a video. I recorded it. I fucked with my computer. I didn't mean to do it, but after it's happened, I was able to actually move the pages with my hand. I have the video. I have proof. And it was probably the coolest thing I've ever done. But how did I do it? I mean, there's not really many training videos on YouTube of how to do it yet. And most all of them, they just say you have to charge up your electrokinesis a certain way. But they don't actually tell you how to use it. They usually just say, picture a lightning bolt in your fingertip. That shit doesn't work. What you do is you do this, like most videos show, and then when you're trying to like do this, which every video shows, you put pressure against both hands like this, almost like you're tightening your hands, but almost pretend that there's like a force in the middle. And when you do that, you'll feel a tingling in your hands. And once you do, all you gotta do is think that the tingling is in your fingertips. And once you do that, holy shit, you will feel the strangest feeling and the most intense feeling in your fingertips. And that is electrokinesis. Now, I've seen people move pencils and pens and objects, and I've even seen a kid making a card float around him with telekinesis. I'm not Matilda. I can't make telekinesis happen. And the most telekinesis I've done is, don't have to believe this, but I have fucked with a computer with electrokinesis, broke a plate with my mind. Does that sound crazy to you? It sounds insane to me. Now, how did I do this? I don't fucking know. I was in the kitchen. I was cooking meat like this, and all of a sudden, the plate in the sink cracked in 3 pieces. No water was on. It was just sitting there. I got mad for a few seconds because I burnt my finger. So I got mad. It hurt, and I said the F word. The plate snapped in 3 pieces. It was a glass plate. It's just cracked. It was in perfect shape. It didn't just crack 3 pieces. I'm like, the fuck? How did that happen? Then the whole rest, like for 20 minutes, I was trying to do it again. I was going like, and then I was going. When something like that, you wonder, how did I do that? And then there's no answers because no one can teach you, and the people on YouTube can do it, but they can't really explain it to you unless you're with them and you meet them in person, and they can give you hand-on-hand experience on how to do it. It's easier that way. And all those people on YouTube who say you need a raw diet, only a fucking vegan diet, anyone who says that should shoot themselves. I'm sorry. I'm a peace kind of guy. I believe in peace. But really, when you try to convince everyone to be a vegan and only eat a raw diet, look what I'm eating. I'm eating meat. I eat meat and fruits and vegetables. You should eat fruits and vegetables, but you can eat meat if you want to, and you can still do this. It's your choice. It is completely your choice. There's a really amazing thing that I did about a year ago with Reiki. And I did Reiki, and it worked, but I was never able to do it again. And I know that sounds like a scam, but whenever I try to look up Reiki online, I could probably do more of these things if I had more of the believing part. Because you're supposed to believe, that's the whole point of telekinesis. You have to believe it works. I have a problem believing it works. Because with the electrokinesis, I just have to do this and I can feel it really fast. Because it naturally comes to me. So I don't really have to believe it works. It just works really fast for me. So when people say that you need to believe something's floating to make it float, I'm like, what? But Reiki, there was one time when I first ever started doing this, then quit for a really long time, I started doing this. I had a big cut right here, and I'm like, I want to heal it now. How do I heal it now? I didn't have to believe in anything. I just started doing a chi meditation for like 10 minutes. Really long time, actually. And eventually, I felt so much chi in between my hands and throughout my body. And I just started doing this. And then eventually, I closed my eyes. And when I opened them, my cut was like, it wasn't all the way healed. It was still cut, but there was a scab forming already. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was such a skeptic, like at that moment. I'm like, no way this is working. This can't be working. It's just what? And then after that, I'm like, I'm trying to do it again, but I really can't do it again. The only things that happen on accident and happen again on accident with me are electrokinesis things. Things that involve electronics. I mean, I did a really cool thing that I actually tried to do and it worked, but then I tried to do it again and it didn't work. See, what I did was I got my tablet and I got my phone and I did this. But I did this. See, what I can't do with this finger, you see how this finger is all fucked up with the pinky? It's really fucked up. That's why I use this as the charging finger. That's why I use this as the pointing finger, because this one is now fucked up. This one I can make straight, this one I can't. So what I did was I charged this one, then I put it on the screen of my tablet, and I put this one on the screen of my phone. And I was trying to absorb the power, the power out of the tablet and put the power into my phone. So my phone would be charged and I could go to the gym. But guess what I did? I destroyed my phone for 2 days. Yeah, I thought my phone had a virus because my phone screen started going left and right. And then it started restarting for no reason. And then the apps wouldn't open. I couldn't call people. The screen started dimming for no reason. It's like I zapped it or something. I fucked with the battery or something. And then I never tried that again. And then I did try it again because I'm anxious and I like knowing things and why they happen. I tried it again, but I got no results. Funny how that works, right? The only thing that works, is the blow dryer thing. If I enter a room, a bathroom, public bathroom, the blow dryers seem to turn on when I walk in. Sometimes. Just sometimes. And lights sometimes flicker when I walk into the room. And they don't usually flicker. Now, here's what happens if you overcharge your body with electrokinesis. The difference with chi and electricity in your body, the difference. Chi will not make you fall asleep. Chi is a relaxing-ish exercise that you can charge. And the more you do it, the more it will stay and easier it will be. Now, doing this, focusing in the middle, you will feel an electric charge. I'm not bullshitting you. It took me a long time before I was able to do it. And I did this. I used to when I first started. I was doing the little chi ball thing. And I could still do it and feel it. But I don't do that anymore. I only do electrokinesis. And anyone who says that you have to do this before you can do electrokinesis is lying to you. Because that's not true. I mean, earlier in my life I did this before I even knew what electrokinesis was. I learned what electrokinesis was this year. But, what was I going to say? Electrokinesis and third eye, which you need to open third eye. You don't need to open third eye for doing the little chi ball thing. Anyone can do the chi ball with their third eye closed. And if they disagree with that, well, then maybe they have it slightly open. I don't know. I did it when my third eye was closed. When your third eye opens, you'll know when it's open. I tripped out like crazy when it first opened. Sometimes you have to do the third eye exercise more than one time. The third eye exercise, and I'm going to do it in front of you because I'm not actually embarrassed. I want to actually educate people on how to do this. So, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go, that's the first step, and then ah, and then mo, and then lam, and you're supposed to, I call it thamolam. If you close your eyes and look up in the middle, that's where your third eye is, and just say thamolam. It will send a tiny little vibration to that area. Keep doing that. Just say thamolam. You don't have to do the goofy little chant. You can say thamolam slowly. It sounds like a hilarious word, but it's the way you open your third eye. When you open your third eye, you'll pass out. You may have a trip. You'll see weird shit. Not kidding. You will see weird shit. Weird things will appear that you were not expecting. Then you'll wake up the next morning. And probably your clairvoyance, if I said that right, and noticing things, and your sight will be better. Your hearing will be better. Everything will probably just be better. Your smelling. You can't do most of the things unless you open your third eye. It's funny, in the show Avatar, but Korra, like Avatar Korra, the remake show. If anyone's ever watched that, I watched that. In the second season, there was a villain, and I'm going to be a total nerd right now. In the second season, there was a villain, and what he did was he took away people's elements by touching right here. And all he did was he touched right here for like 3 seconds, and they couldn't water bend, air bend, electricity bend, fire bend, or earth bend. Which I find really interesting because those things are where your third eye is, and those things are how you do it. This area is how you do all those things. So when he's doing that, he's blocking the third eye. I always wondered after learning about the third eye if in those TV shows, like, their third eye is just automatically like at max level, and that's why they could shoot fire out of their hands and stuff. I never like being a complete anime nerd. It drives me crazy when I run into anime nerds like that. So I don't like bragging on about TV shows, and so I won't do that. But just want to bring that up as an example. If I could use any kind of type of bending, I would use blood bending and electricity bending, because electricity can kill the fastest and blood can control like a puppet. Probably the two most useful ones. I'm going to say one last thing and that's it. One last thing. When my third eye opened, the first element I tried to control was not my element, it was earth. I tried to move rocks. I soon learned that I could control wind. I couldn't create wind. But when I went to a windy place, I could control which direction the wind was blowing, which amazed me. And I also could control how strong the wind blew. I almost blew myself over. And when I do this, while I'm moving the wind left and right or up, and when I'm doing this, the wind flow increases drastically. When I go down, the wind flow goes down. When I go like this, which I learned from another guy, sometimes more wind shows up, but not always. When I go like this, it moves the air along. It's good advice for people who their natural element of being a Libra, a Gemini, or a, what's the other air symbol in the zodiac? I don't know. I forgot. Someone that can naturally do airbending. I'm being serious about this. Someone who can naturally control air and the weather should know this. The 3 things I showed you. Just try it, and when you do it, be relaxed. I talk to the wind. I'm like, fuck you, wind. Pick up. I'll swear at the wind. And believe it or not, it calms me down, so it works better. Do something that will calm you down. If it's swearing at the wind, if it's deep breathing, anything. Just do what calms you down. I've seen people firebend. Not like create fire, but they've made fire stronger. And that's what I mean about your base element. Yeah. So, enjoy and don't make fun of this video. Really. I made this video for educational information, all purposes only. I didn't make it for people to comment and be dicks about. So, if any of my family members find this, oh well. Really, I made this for me and others who want to learn this. Not for skeptics. Because this has already been proven to work. So why disagree? Bye. Like and subscribe if you even want to.